I went to go in 2012 to go represent for San Antonio in the Brave New Voices. It was a national poetry slam. It was pretty cool. I haven't done poetry for like maybe like what, a year. I've just been doing shows, hip hop, so it's very like, I feel like it's almost new to me because of how long I haven't done it, so just bear with me, you know what I'm saying? But this poem, I'm gonna read off my phone because I don't have memorized, but it's alright, don't judge me. But yeah, this is about hip hop, and I feel like it represents what this generation's kind of like giving off nowadays, so it's like this. I'm stressed, making me over-reflect on this past. I needed a timeline to keep me from handling up to times past. It meant we needed a different vibe from laughing when you say things would be different. I held myself to the standard as if I'm the one who was gifted. I missed when you told me you were the one to know this, yet I see me holding a place for those who have to be proven, to be guided, yet by the ones they see, blinded. I have never gotten to that point of poetry. I have been evolving since day one. To say otherwise is an understatement. To put myself in the boat that I never wanted to be in, disrespected. Y'all are all misogynistic reflections of what you never wanted me to see, so exclude that. These words are mightier than the sword you represent yourself from. So when we all unite as one, finally we will be in the 6 feet deep world of irony, spirit dripping from everything we ever continue to be. I'm lost, to say the least. Many words that flow out of your mouth like I needed to breathe, but I have accepted you for what you are and what will you forever be. 20 years plus, yet you cats still crown yourselves king. It's about San Antonio. I have this really old poem that is super old, and it's like, it's not necessarily about like a boyfriend or anything. It's just kind of like people, actually no, relationships, and how men think they're like not emotional, but they really are emotional, and they don't want to admit it deep down. Not saying that y'all aren't or anything. I'm not being, you know, sexist or anything. Just from my point of view, 2 years ago. So, that's my breath. Alright, so it's like, no matter how many times I tell you it's over, you still won't listen. I've never had a love like this before, where I was irresistible. I was the one on the other end. I've realized, believe me, I ask, how can such a thing be? How can a woman hold this much power invested in her? Well, young souls tend to reach out to old hearts. They say he tends to love power over emotion. He stops. Can that really be an sentence to what my imaginary mind is or will be? The phrase of forgetting you is long gone within the message, but your blind eyes throw each and every one of those captions a mist into the truth. What is it that you really see in you about me? You see, your talk of imagining is here, alive with every metaphor you speak to me. Tranquility, a quality of your mediocrity. I understood, and that will always be with me. How can you not see that? Blinded by your own pride, telling me to set aside mine, when in the reaction of your consequences, never the cause, right? Because you're so perfect in every sense of the view. You where each and every day started off with an argument, but then again it was only 6 months in, still no title yet. You said, wondering why I always say no about being your girl. Ha. The scoff of disengagement, the river of tears, the heart of a ripped open soul, given every mental ability to engage in your presence, and yet we still don't combine as two elements in time. You say, if we were just souls, we would be hard to distinguish amongst each other, but sometimes you really just have to let that idea go, because baby, I never was your baby. Yay! That's so old. I feel like I think to like my past right now. And then, yeah, I got one more poem for you guys. It's about my pops, or I guess you could see it like as a way of like expressing myself, because some people just get addicted to drugs and they're just like not the same person, and it like really sucks, but it happens, you know. So yes, about it. Yeah. So it goes like this. It's been about a week now, still no word from you. I settle for the setting emotionless captions of what worth were you ever. The parent lost in the depths of his own endeavors. Vicious cycles of attacks to the endless guilt trip, as if you were the cause. So why are we the effect, creating a more dense mind to intercept from the false realities, from pointing the problems, yet you still can't see. You're not praising a false god, but the way you're idolizing leaves you to never reach a point of symmetry, becoming one with yourself before you speak. The way you still tend to correct me like I need your judgment. Now tell me, have you looked in the mirror since you always covered a better sense of faith? Drug-ridden mistakes chase all your family away. One decision remained to life 10 years back. So were you ready when the darkness came forward to attack? So were you ready, Mr. Perfect? So were you ready? And that's it.
Thank you. Tell them where they can find you on Facebook.
Facebook / KREE23. It's KREE23. And then my SoundCloud. If you want a card for me, you can totally just ask me. I do tattoos as well. So if you ever want a female tattoo artist, I'm right here.
And if anybody's familiar with Blacknote Records, she's signed to Blacknote Records, Anthony Martinez and Blacknote Records. Awesome.